To create a test in MyMathLab, here's what you do. First of all, you go to Course Tools, and then Assignment Manager. Create assignment, you create a test. Give the test a name, let's say test 3. It might tell me that you already have a test 3 there, so I'm just going to call it test 3A, for example. And then click next. Now start assigning problems. It's as simple as that. Let's say we're creating a test that covers, for example, chapter 7 and 8. So I'll just go to 7. Let's say I want to pick question from section 7.1. Here are the questions available to me. I can see the question first if I want. For example, let me select this question. Let me select this one. Now let's say 19 and 17 cover the same thing, but they're two different questions. Here's what you can do. You can select both of them and pool. What that means that some students will get 7.1.17 and other students will get 7.1.19. They're two different questions. As you can see, if you look at the total number of questions, there's only 3. So once you pool, you select the number of questions that you want pool. You can select 5 questions and they will be counted as one questions, and students will get different questions. So no two students would likely get the same question. For example, let's say you want to assign, let's say 33, 34, 34, 5 cover the same concept. You just pull them, and you notice here that it says still 40 questions. So randomly those questions will be assigned, to different students. So this way you don't have to create a new different version of the test, a second version or a third version. That would be it by itself. And anyway, the numbers are algorithmically generated, so even if you don't pool, some students are not going to get exact same numbers to work with. Another thing I would like to bring to your attention here, that you could use a different book to get questions from. Let's say you're not satisfied with the questions available in this book, you can change this one. Let me put, for example, Triola, search. There you go. Let's say I want to get some question from this book. I select this book and you can see, let me go to the chapter, for example, on hypothesis testing, and I can get some questions from there as well. Add, etc. Let's say I want to pool. Let's say those 4 questions cover the same concept. I can pull them, and so on and so forth. You can change the points here. If you think a question should be worth more than 1 point, by default it is 1 point. You can do that. Like, it looks like this is a 5 minutes 6 seconds. I would look at it and probably assign the points accordingly. I can change this one to 2. Everything will change to 2 because it's pooled. When a question is pooled, all of the questions that are in the pool will have to have the same weight, which that makes sense because we're testing the exact same concept there. And once you're done creating your test, you can get an estimate of the time that it takes to conclude the test. You can go to the next step. You can assign a due date right here. Let's say I want to make it March 19. What chapters did you get the questions from? You can assign the chapters here, and This is if you want to allow late submissions and partial credit. This is if you want to require a password, you will have to provide that password to students. I usually for tests I limit number of attempts to 1, and students are expected to complete the test in 1 session. I usually do that, and I time the test. Let's say this is a 90-minute test or 2-hour test, whatever, it's in minutes. Show the remaining time to students, and I would if you're not doing item analysis on this test, you can scramble question order for each student. You want to add some instructor tips, you can do that in here, and save and assign. Because I just created this one, so it says I have to go and change, the weight for this test. Which tells me it's worth 0 points right here, because I did it under test and this category is 0 points, that's why, but this is just an example. And that would be it. So if you go to Assignment Manager right now and you click on Tests, Quizzes on Tests, the students should be able to see the test. It's right there at the bottom. They click on it and they take the test when it becomes available. It is as simple as that.